Hi, this is Matt Bruff, minister of Prairie Presbyterian Church. Last Sunday, I spoke a little bit about the first chapter of Genesis, and we're starting a series on Genesis. One of the things that I spoke about was how um, we are we're creative people. The way God has made us, God is a creative God, and we're made in God's image. More on that this coming week about what it means to be made in God's image. But I invited people to think about what it might be like to use those first days of creation as maybe a model for your day. And so, what would it take for you to, at the end of your day, do kind of what God did in the first day of creation and look back on your day and say, it is good? What is it that you would need to do in that day to be able to reflect on your day and think about it is good? Acknowledging that we're also going to mess things up. There are going to be all kinds of days where we look back and think this was not great. But maybe there's a way that you can be a little more intentional about the goodness that you create in the day that you are living, whether that's in your relationships, in your job, or some creative endeavor of making music or writing or art. Maybe it's just in your classes at school and how you interact with people. But just what might it mean to look back and on your day and say it is good. So again, this Sunday I am going to be speaking about, so that's Sunday, September 15th, I am going to be speaking about the next little bit of Genesis. So finishing up chapter 1, moving into chapter 2, where there's the specific creation of human beings as created in the image of God, and then human beings are given dominion over creation. So we're going to talk about, well, what does that actually mean to have dominion over? It sounds kind of like over and above, but it might actually be a little more about what does it mean to actually care for this planet and care for our creation. But then also, what does that have to do with being made in God's image? Are those the same thing? Is there maybe something else to being made in God's image? And what is that? And how do we live that out? And how does that make a real difference in our lives to how we see ourselves as actual image bearers of God? So that's this coming Sunday. Also, in the following week, we're going to be having a student lunch after the service on September 22nd. So if you're a university student, you'll want to stick around for that. We are also continuing to give out coffee in the street next to the church during the week in the morning. So it's Monday to Friday. And then on Monday night this week, that's September 16th, we are having a music leadership night to go over learning some new music. But if you are a new person or you haven't been involved in the music ministry and leadership, particularly for our singers, if you're interested in helping lead the singing, you're welcome to come out to this night and learn and just sort of get the lay of the land a little bit. So we'd love to have you. So that's 7 o'clock on Monday night. There's probably a few other things to announce, but I hope to see some of you this coming Sunday at Prairie Presbyterian Church. That's at 590 University Crescent.